yes, corporations are making this shift, but let's also examine what they were doing before they even made this shift. Like, were they really? And obviously, we're grouping a lot of corporations together as we're saying this, and you'd have to go corporation by corporation. But I think that you could look at a lot of corporations and be like, okay, even before this new term, stakeholder capitalism, which is kind of breeding the grounds for a social credit score, both from a corporation but also an individual standpoint. However, I think that even before this term and before this new scoring, I don't think that corporations have had people's like best interests at heart. And I think that that's something that on the right gets overlooked a lot, or has, up until this whole big pharma explosion has happened. I think that on the left, people traditionally have been a lot more skeptical of, okay, what is Coca-Cola actually promoting? Should there be regulations on what they're producing? And like, should there be limits on how much corporations can profit off of people, you know?
You're right. That's a good point. Actually, traditionally, the left had been more skeptical of corrupt capitalism and, big corporations taking advantage in maybe some unethical ways. But it wasn't only until big pharma and with this whole vaccine situation that the people on the right maybe have now woken up more towards the corrupt capitalism that they're involving themselves with, which is really interesting. Yeah, I really like that take.
Yeah. I mean, I think that now it's like, oh my gosh, wait, Pfizer now has just announced that in their final I think their fourth quarter annual report or quarterly report, wrapping up for the annual report, and they're saying all of our next quarterly revenue income streams is going to be mainly with COVID related stuff. Like, you can't recover from that. You can't do a pivot. Like, if that's where all your income's going to come from, like,
I
they're
don't
not going
know.
to just give that up. And then once you realize, oh, that industry is doing that, then you can apply it to all these other different industries.